Hey, so I've been lucky enough to amass an 8-figure property portfolio, and I've done it without buying equities, saving money, or as Dave Ramsey would say, paying down my debt. In this video, I'm going to teach you how I did it and how you can also start your journey to financial freedom by ignoring most of the advice that many self-proclaimed financial gurus here on YouTube give. Now, we're not going to pick on Dave Ramsey again today, but we are going to listen to one of the world's greatest investors, and that's Ray Dalio. Ray warns everyone against holding debt, and he's gone viral on many occasions for saying cash is trash. Now, to explain why I'm not the biggest fan of saving money and what Dalio means by this statement, let's do some basic math and run through an example. You can see from this graph here that the average home used to cost just over $25,000 in 1971. And let's assume you had $10,000 of savings in 1971 and wanted to buy a home. Let's also assume you put $10,000 down as a down payment on that home and took out a $15,000 mortgage against it in 1971. Now, what would have happened to your mortgage if you were hypothetically able to only pay the interest payments on this $15,000 loan and refuse to pay any of the principal repayments down over the past 50 years? Well, we can see that the average home in America has risen from $25,000 to over $455,000 today. And if the bank let you continually roll that loan and only pay the interest payments, 50 years later, you would still hypothetically have a $15,000 loan, but now you have a home that's worth over $450,000. So in this hypothetical example, you would have $335,000 in equity. Now let's compare this to someone who left their $10,000 in cash in 1971. So today, in 2023, that $10,000 cash would only be able to buy you a secondhand Honda. Holding cash for the past 50 years has been a terrible decision, and that's why investors like Ray Dalio say cash is trash. So taking out debt and buying an asset that's scarce like real estate protects you from this kind of currency debasement. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why Dave Ramsey is dead wrong about reducing your debt. The only way in which Dave Ramsey's advice makes any kind of sense is if you have something like credit card debt charging you 20% interest. The second thing I want to explain today is why you shouldn't buy equities. Now, I'm not saying equities are totally worthless. I'm also not saying that equities can't be part of a strong, diversified portfolio. What I am saying is that real estate provides a lot of value to individuals and retail investors that otherwise is not possible with equities. Let me give you a few examples of what I'm trying to say. Is real estate a good inflation hedge? The first misconception people have about real estate is the fact that it's a great inflation hedge. People think holding equities is better than holding that $10,000 in the bank. Well, when we denominate the S&P 500 by the expanding US money supply, we can see something very interesting. So many people think the S&P 500 is near an all-time high, having more than tripled since the year 2000. However, the S&P 500 is still down 31% from its 2000 high when you account for the expanding money supply. This is truly a perspective most people don't consider. Another advantage real estate has over equities is the fact that when you buy real estate, you get to set the rules. When you buy a home and decide to rent it, you write the rental contract and you name the price that you want to be paid. You know ahead of time exactly how much money you are going to earn for the life of that rental contract. This definitely helps you plan your future without speculation and instability. Stability is what really breeds a strong portfolio. Now, when you compare this to equities, which at the end of the day is like owning a fraction of a business, with a business, being it a local business or a huge multinational corporation, you theoretically don't know how much you are going to make that day, if anything at all. Owning equities is far more speculative than buying real estate. You see, when you own real estate, not only do you get to make the rules, if someone doesn't pay, you get to put somebody else in there that is going to pay, so you have options. You have the ability to sell it, to hold it, to increase the rents, to improve the paint, do whatever you want. You can't do any of that with equities. You can only hold the equity and it won't improve regardless of what you decide to do on your nights and weekends. And another clear advantage for individuals is the tax benefits provided to real estate investors. If you own real estate, there are many ways for you to use things like depreciation in your favor to get a tax advantage, all legally, of course. But when you're using depreciation to offset passive and/or active income, you're allowing your investment to grow that much faster, and you're doing it on leveraged money from the bank. So the last misconception I want to tackle today is the one surrounding saving money. The following statement might sound counterintuitive, but saving in dollars is a great way to become poor. This is because real inflation eats away at any money you save at roughly 10 to 15% a year. We can see this visualized best by the chart below. To have the same buying power that $100 had in 1799, you'd currently need more than $2,000 today. That's a huge difference, but it really tells you what your money's worth. That means you have to look for an alternative way to store your wealth. And as we've discussed so far, equities is not the best solution for that. So what does all of this mean? We've broken it down part by part, but let's now stack it all up to create a full picture. Debt gets inflated away by governments, so paying it down is definitely not a productive use of money, unless of course the interest rate is something crazy like credit card debt, where the interest rate is higher than the rate of your real inflation itself. Doing the opposite, taking out as much productive debt as possible, is what's going to leave you in the best long-term position. Real estate is proven to be the best way for individuals to have steady income while also being able to reduce their tax burden. So don't be a victim to inflation. You have an easy solution. Do not, under any circumstances, save in dollars. Save in assets that are scarcer, that will appreciate due to that scarcity. That can be real estate, gold, or even Bitcoin. However, as we've discussed today, real estate is the best way to do that, in my view, for a variety of reasons. We've highlighted how much housing has appreciated. You can see over the last 10 years how much rents have gone up. All of these things are going to allow you to continue to live a life based in last year's dollars with tomorrow's income. Now, if you want to learn some more tips and tricks that I've used to build wealth and to thrive, make sure you watch our recent video where we do a deeper dive into this exact topic. I will put a link on the screen that will take you straight to that video right here. And let me know in the comments down below what you think the markets will do next. And if you like this video, make sure you subscribe for more videos just like it. We'll see you in the next video.